I don't know where the other Chinese caches went. I don't know. don't know, Pappy, don't know. But here we go. We're jumping into our series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have... Oh. We might be remaking. We are on West. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat for our next ZvP. Again, Krystianer is a player that we have seen improve so much over the year. Has competed many a time in our tournaments. And we'll see how he compares to Solar. I'm a little bit anxious though, because I do know that basically all the casters were together covering the earlier matches, and then I saw a bunch of lobbies show up, and I think everyone spread out, and some casters may have been left behind. So I'm a little bit anxious as the players, they just started the lobby. But hopefully we can all find ourselves. I'm curious, what is crank casting? Where's Crank? Because he found a different series. I have no idea where he went. No idea, Pat. Regardless, we're going to be settling in. It's going to be Hajjagaz's pool here, standard opener by Solar. Likewise, Krystianer back at home, just going for a standard opener as well. I'm opening up Crank's stream. Oh, Crank found Björn Laser. Oh, I'm so jealous. That was the one that I was hoping to get into before. Okay. But yeah, Crank, he's in Björn versus a laser. Wow. He got lucky. I think he's friends with Björn, so he was able to join him through the players. Crazy, crazy. All right, so if you want to tune into Björn versus a laser, then Crank has you there. Has you covered. For now, though, we do have our initial Stargate opener. So far, so good. Now, Krystianer, when it comes to his prowess here in PvZ, what he's best known for, that is a more Immortal Archon-heavy composition on 3 bases, where he plays a little bit more defensively. Sometimes he even intentionally delays his third in favor of an Archon-based opener, and then he slowly expands and builds up a heavy Immortal Archon count. This is a style that we have seen Krystianer use to actually take down some big Zerg names. Players like a Laser, players like Lambo, like Krystianer, he has been quite successful with this style, and I imagine that's what he's going to go for here against Solar, at least at some point in this series. But we'll see. We'll see what he goes for. Adepts are moving out. They will go in the shade, shaving off some lings. Two shade into the main. So far, getting one drone. Oh, they didn't quite get another. Lings, they do surround. Nicely done there by Solar. He shuts down the Adepts. Takes down 2 for only losing 1 drone. Better trade here for Solar. Back at home, Krystianer, he will take his third. He will expand. So far, so good. He is going for a standard follow-up. Getting to his third base. Meanwhile, Lings are being active. Defending the bases here of Krystianer. And there's that opener. That's that follow-up. We have a Robo alongside a Twilight Council. Now, if you remember, I spoke about how we have seen Krystianer's preferred style, going for a very heavy very heavy Immortal Archon-based composition, going for his third expansion. I believe that's what we're seeing here. It should be Robo into into Twilight Council, late Forge into a Templar Archives. We should be seeing a Templar Archives into Archon production, into an Archon drop. I will confirm this with a Warp Prism. So we'll see. As the Oracles are zoned away, Lings, they hit the third. They get a nice surround. And Deck gets surrounded, forcing another Warp in. Efficient trades here by Solar. Forcing back the probes. And there's that Warp Prism, as we did mention. So it's going to be Warp Prism into a Temple Archives into Archons. At least that should be the case. If it's the build that we're thinking of. Yep, there it is. Temple Archives into Archon drop. So again, this is kind of like the Krystianer special. It's what he's very fond of, is what he embraces, and it's quite strong. It's quite good. I wouldn't even be surprised if Krystianer does this every game in this series. Just every game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Just going for the Temple Archives into the Archons, into Immortal. Into win. There are not too many others that really embrace this style. We've seen players like Showtime and Creator dabble in this every now and then. We've seen some of the other Polish Protoss players like Geralt dip their toes into this as well. But I don't think anyone relies on it as heavily as Krystianer. Everyone else, you know, they mix it in like maybe, you know, once a month or something like that. As the Prism does get across the map, here comes the Archon drop. Hunting down to the Overlords. And he will get... Oh, not quite one. Overlord does survive. Saves the Overlord. Krystianer dropping over the wall. Up! Doesn't quite get the Overlord. Gonna be zoned back. It's gonna be forced back here. Krystianer's still being active. He wants that Overlord. Oh, he wants it. Does he get it? He does. Overlord does go down. Nice pick off here from Krystianer. Back at home, he's building up that Immortal count. And again, ideally, he wants to build up towards like 6 to 8 Immortals. Wants to build up like 6 to 8 Archons, and then move out with a death pool of an Archon Immortal army. And with Storm as well. Meanwhile, we do see Solar going for Swarm Host. Very nice response. Swarm Host, they're ideal against a player that skips Blink. If there's no Blink, if there's no mobile ground army, then Swarm Host, they can pop up. So far, good response here by Solar. Archons, they do catch another Overlord. Just get the one. So Krystianer backs up. There's Vision in the main. Nidus Storm is just now going to be finishing, and we'll see where we throw down that Nidus. Ideally, Solo was to throw it down here outside of an expansion and try to knock down the third or the natural. Solo has Vision everywhere, and there it is, Nidus Storm outside of the natural. You can see here these Immortals are building up. As I mentioned, usually Krystianer, he moves out with like around 8 Immortals, and he's up to 6. There's Rico back home. Nidus Storm does finish. Here comes the Swarm Host. And the Zelce will confirm.
Research is done. Let's hope you click the right one.
They do confirm. Locust Wave towards the natural. Immortals trying to keep up. So far the Immortals are in position. And Templar is safe. Storm has not been researched. Bear that in mind. As the Locust Wave does nothing. But where is Storm? That's a key important part that we're missing here. Where's the Storm, Pappy? I don't think it's intentional that we don't have it. Because like that's a lot of High Templar, and where are the Storms? Oh boy. Like otherwise Krystianer should be pushing here. Like he should be pushing soon. Oh boy. As I think he's soon going to find out that he has no Storm. Otherwise, he'd be throwing it down here and now. There we go. He sees. Storm just now begins. He just tried to storm the Locust. He realized he couldn't. Oh, no. The Locust Wave, they jump in. They go for the Immortal to get one. One Immortal goes down. He's going to get 2. Oh, yeah, he gets 2. Massive pickoffs. And that's actually a pretty big deal. Like, again, bearing in mind that he has 6 Immortals. From 8 down to 6, it does take away a lot of firepower here. And again, that shouldn't have happened if there were Storms. Meanwhile, Krystianer is being pulled apart. Storm still in the wave. Krystianer, he has to rebuild those Immortals. Roche as they go for the dive. There's no shield battery. Another Immortal goes down. Massive pickup. And Krystianer's just being torn apart. Does abandon the Archons. Immortals are having a hard time trading. No, God. Yeah, he's just being dragged back and forth. Time and time again. Here come the Storms. He will lose 18, 20 probes. 20 workers go down. I believe that was like 4 Archon kills as well. Sorry, 2 Archon kills. Roaches were cleaned up, and soon Krystianer needs to move out. Now, ideally, like, he did want to hit a timing like a minute or 2 ago. So you could argue that maybe he's already missed his timing, and I might agree with that. It's hard to say. Locust Wave forced to be a little bit premature. Headed towards the natural. We'll get 1 Archon. 1 Archon goes down. Krystianer trying to commit. Oh, we'll catch out some of those Hydras. Decent storm. Yeah, he's all in. At this point, Krystianer, he's completely all in. But there are now lurkers to defend. Ay, ay, ay. Is there any detection? No shot. No detection. 0 observers. Observers on the way. And with that, the lurkers, they just buy so much time. Now we have 8 more lurkers in production. Spine coolers as well. Again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Solar. Night Storm into the main. Lings, they're just busting into every single base as well. Oh my god. Yeah, Krystianer just being pulled apart, being picked apart. Night Storm is denied. Krystianer pushing in. Oh, the Prism! Storm's going to be going up. Massive storms on the army. And that's the final storm. Well, there's 1 more storm left. 1 more storm left over. And again, you can see, like, Krystianer, he's pushing through. Like, he's trading well here. The problem is he can't reinforce, right? Like, the problem is that he has no more bank. This is the final wave of reinforcements. He has to push in. He has 1 more storm. Up! Oh no, the High Templar. High Templar goes down. He had a storm available. Lings, they flood in. Okay, more High Templar. They come in to reinforce. Oh god, the Immortals are so low. They're so low. Loses 1, loses 2. Can he get 3? Ah, Krystianer. Oh my god. Barely keeps the Immortal alive. And again, he has to keep going. How many lurkers? There are 2. Oh, only 2 lurkers. Soon to be 4. And now this storm. It's no detection. Oh, no detection. Once again, observers are on the way. 0 detection for Krystianer. He can't push in. Nice storms on the Hydras. Lurkers stay moving forward. And again, the problem is that this army from Krystianer is getting smaller and smaller. As another Immortal goes down. Oh, barely saved. But again, if Krystianer had an economy here at the 3rd and had an economy here at the natural, then he could actually be making more Immortals behind this. And he could be rallying Immortals in. Like, he could even win the game. But, you know, it's one of those things where he doesn't have an economy. Doesn't have that sustainability. Oh, the spine shots are brutal. We'll break through the lurkers. Does he have enough? Does he have 1 more storm? Up, the Hydras. Are they going to top of the High Templar? 4 High Templar left. And it's barely not enough. And Solar holds. Solar, he holds on. Morphing in more lurkers. Another Locust Wave. Yes, all good. All good. As GG gets called, and Solar, he will survive, he will deflect, and he will take game number 1. GG. And yeah, that was what I was worried about. But GG, well played. Where is Rotterdam? So we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting into game 2, and hopefully we can get everyone involved this time. Beautiful. Okay. getting to that second game. And again, like, imagine that kind of game state, right? Imagine game 1 with Krystianer actually having an economy, actually having some sustainability as well. With his third base, with his natural. I mean, he came close to killing Solar. He came so close to breaking him. So close. GG. GG. Stormhost is so bad, I don't understand how Dark makes them work. I mean, Solar made them work there as well. Like, again, Stormhost, they have their place. They're ideal in those kind of situations when there's no kind of like Blink Stalkers. There's nothing to really hunt them down and shut down the Night Storms. As you saw, Krystianer, even though he was like holding against the Locust Waves, he wasn't really denying them. They were still popping off. They were still gaining value over time. And now here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. Here we go. Do you think Solar is passionate about renewable energy? He is the renewable energy, 100%. That's who Solar is. He's powered by the sun. It's crazy. He is the sun. Let's go. The question becomes, who shines more brightly? Solar or TY? That's the real question. Solar or TY back? For those who don't know, TY stands for Taeyang, and Taeyang also stands for like solar in Korean. So very similar. Fun fact, TY and Solar, they were on the same team for a long time as well. They were on Splice. They were on Splice for a number of years. The Sun Boys. Crazy. Here we go. We are getting into our next game. We're getting into game 2. And again, Krystianer, like, we saw how effective that style can be. Fun fact, that's also this specific like build that Krystianer he's like utilizing. It really shows the effectiveness of Mass Immortal and how it can break through lurker lines anyway. I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons why, if you're curious, the Immortal was nerfed. The Immortal was nerfed to this patch. Specifically to target PvZ. Specifically, I think Krystianer is one of the reasons why. Like, unironically, I think Krystianer is one of the reasons why he got the Immortal nerfed. Because of how successful he was with that style. And I mean, in general, a lot of Protoss players do embrace a heavy Immortal style anyway before they go into Skytos, just because, I mean, it can be quite effective against lurkers. But in the latest patch, the lurkers, sorry, the Immortals, their attack speed got nerfed by 10%, I believe. They have a lower rate of fire. As things, they collapse in. So fired up, say shade into the main. Oh. Shading to the main base. I didn't quite get a drone yet. Getting two more workers here in the main. Not bad. 2 drones and 3 drones. Let's go. 3 drones to 2 Fs. Not bad at all. Get 3 workers behind this, calming down. Is going to be a robo follow-up. Interesting. Do we go for a Twilight Council? Now, if you recall last game, I was referring to this build, and I was even saying at the start that Krystianer, he would often delay his third. He didn't delay his third on Amygdala, but he will delay it here on Ultra Love. And again, this looks like a 2-base all-in. It's not. It's going to be robo with a Twilight Council into a Templar Archives, into an Archon drop, into a delayed third base. So this is not an all-in. He will take his third just a little bit later. And he's going for the same overall style. Like, the opener is different, but the overall, like, end goal is the same, and that is to build up that death ball of an Immortal Archon Storm army. Also, I should emphasize as well last game that, I mean, again, Krystianer did forget Storm. He did forget Storm. Without it, he had a bit of a harder time defending as well. And if you remember, he lost 2 Immortals. Remember, he lost 2 Immortals at the start because of the lack of Storm, and that could have also made or have broken the game for him. If he had those extra immortals when he moved out, maybe he wins, right? Like, that's how intense that fight was. So Krystianer, he has to tighten up. He has to tighten things up here. There's that third, as we mentioned. Again, a delayed third, and we should be gearing up for an Archon drop. Should be gearing up for the Archon drop. Speaking of Archons, here they come. High Templar morphing in. Soon to be Archons. And then moving out across the map. Let's go. Let us go. So Krystianer does head towards the main. Archons likewise they do. Oh! Engage with the Queens. Bold move there from Krystianer. He has to back up, has to save those Archons. Has to save the Archons. It's an Overlord. Oh, Solar going to be responding with a Spire. Bold move. But I kind of like this. Once again, one of the big downsides of this build for Krystianer, no Blink Stalkers. And how to abuse a lack of Blink Stalkers. One, with Swarm Host, as we saw previously. Two, with Mutas. Ooh, as he's going to force a cancel. Oh my god. Does deny the fourth. Nice pick off here by Krystianer. Does deny the expansion. Soul's going to be saturating his bases. Double drop into the main. Oh, Archons they drop in, but so far they haven't really found too much value. Queens they collapse on the army, going for the Prism. Up! Prism takes some hits. Prism does get away, does escape. Does manage to escape. Likewise, Lings they rotate over, heading towards the natural. Immortals have been building up this entire time. How many immortals do we have? We have so far 3. Is Storm done? Not yet. Hopefully this time we don't forget Storm. Storm is a pretty crucial part of this build. Meanwhile, oh my god, meanwhile 15 drones go down to the Oracle. The Oracle on its own! 15 drone kills! That's crazy! What just happened? The one Oracle, it just popped off. Queen's out of position, and just like that, Krystianer does take a worker lead. Takes an economic advantage. Meanwhile, did we scout? Did we see the Spire? That is the question. The answer is yes. The Spire has been scouted. We have cannons on the way, shield batteries on the way, Storm is building up. Now the solution here to the problem should be that Krystianer is going to move out. No! But the wall's open. The wall is wide open. Lings, they flood in. They head towards the main. Not like this. Army has to turn back around. This will delay the push. At the same time, Roaches, they do hit the front lines. Mutas as well. Storm is not yet done. And he's headed for the main. Headed for the main base. Archon's trying to keep up. Cannons are buying time. Here comes the Archon drop. Cleans up the Lings. Forcing back the Mutas. And once Storm finishes, Krystianer should push. Should move out. As Phoenix does fall. Bit of miscontrol there from Krystianer. Unable to react in time. Storm is now done. And the problem for Solar right now is that because he's investing so heavily in Mutas, it means that when this army moves out across the map, there's going to be that much less to defend. Like, there's barely any Ling Roach. Such a big commitment into these Mutas. And Mutas, defensively, they're less than ideal. Like, they don't really do much against this kind of army, against Storms and Archons. So I'm sure Solar, he's aware of that. He's aware that he's vulnerable to a counterattack. So he's trying to be active, heads towards the natural, going for the mineral line. Let's get some probes. 3 probes go down. Archons are keeping up. Oh, Storm as well. Oh, he baits out a second Storm. The first did connect, not the second though. See Solar repositioning. He's about to max out. Dive in on the Prism. Prism goes down. The War Prism does fall. Nice big off on 2 of those Immortals. On 1 Immortal even. But Solar's being forced back. Not a bad trade here from Krystianer. He's holding on. And again, we're waiting for his eventual move out. for his eventual push. Phoenixes are keeping up with the mutas. Solar ready for his own move out. Going for the natural. Mutas in towards the third. The wall's open. Oh my god. Hero! The wall is wide open. He dives right into the natural base. At the same time, mutas, they catch some of the pieces. Some of the pieces do fall. Mutas, they dive in once again, catching another 2 phoenixes. Another 3 phoenixes. Ay, ay, ay. And again, Krystianer is being pulled apart. Cleans up most of the army. And now he should counterattack. I feel like now is the time. Because Solar, he just lost most of his roaches. And this is it. This is the moment. Krystianer, he has to push here and now, and he may just snowball into a win. What is the army looking like? What does Solar have? He has 52 lings, 0 roaches. 0 roaches for Solar. He has to go for the base trade. Oh, the control! The Phoenixes! Phoenixes, they are holding on. Again, he has to just make sure he doesn't get caught out by the mutas. Oh, speaking of, massive catch. 2 Phoenixes go down. 3 Phoenixes go down. Brutal losses here for Krystianer. And Krystianer, he turned around for a moment. Oh, that was a bit of an F2. That was an F2. That time is of the essence. He has to commit. As he has to move out. Mutas, they shut down the natural. They shut down the main. Army is moving out. Phoenixes, they're all cleaned up. Most of them, I should say. And you can see Krystianer, he's trying to defend. Trying to respond. Here we go. Archons, they turn back around. Ooh, massive Archon shots going up. Decent magic boxing, but some of the mutas are falling. Storm's coming in as well. Oh my god. Yeah, good fight here for Krystianer. Does take a good fight. Zealots hit the third base, hit the natural, they hit the main as well. And Krystianer, it looks like he may have just done it. Lings are still wreaking havoc, but he has Zealots to defend, and now he can commit. And Solar has nothing to defend. He has only Muta, and the Mutas, they do nothing. They melt back. And GG gets called. Krystianer, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game 3. Again, Krystianer, he snowballed out of control. Solar, he lost too many roaches. He lost too many roaches too quickly. Because of that, he was vulnerable to a counterattack, and he committed. He did commit. And now we're getting into the ace match. And we'll see how this story ends. See how this story ends here. So waiting for that final game to be made. Waiting for that final lobby. Whew. This fight was simultaneous. Yeah, there was a lot of chaos going on. There was a lot of chaos going on, Pat. Aye, aye, aye. It was very intense. I mean, you saw that Krystianer, he was struggling to defend. He was losing a lot of Phoenixes. In the end, he made the decision to come back home with his Archons, of course. That was more than worth it. We're getting ready for the final game. Meanwhile, it looks like the rest of the bracket is progressing. I just don't want to be left behind. Make sure we find our match. And again, this style from Krystianer should be what he does in Game 3 as well. Again, just going for a very heavy Immortal Archon-based composition with Storm, avoiding Blink. Avoiding Blink Stalkers, avoiding Glaive Adepts. None of that stuff. Avoiding Colossus. Okay. I got it. Here we go. We're getting into Game 3. It's going to be on Frostline. Whew, I was very concerned about missing the lobby. Very concerned. We made it. We made it. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Offside Esports, tying up the series 1-1. Can he claim it? Can he knock Solar out of Massive Coliseum? It is a Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from South Korea, representing Team Falcons, being forced into Game 3. Can he bring it back? It is Solar. Let us go. I feel like Krystianer could have killed him earlier. It was if you remember, the thing that was holding Krystianer back and forcing him to stay at home was the wall. Or I should say, the lack of wall. If you recall, it happened twice where the wall was wide open and Solar slipped in with Lings, slipped in with Roaches, so that was delaying him. If it wasn't for that, if Krystianer had a much more secure defense, building up to that 3-base, like death wall of an army, then he could have moved out sooner. That is true. But he was delayed. And I mean, props to Solar, right, for finding those avenues of attack, for getting into the bases, getting into the mineral lines. I mean, Solar was all about buying time for him. Alas, he wasn't able to fully buy time enough to get into something like Lurker Tech or more Roach Ravager. And likewise, he wasn't able to get the damage he really wanted with the Mutas. Like, he was able to get some probes here and there, but nothing game-ending. Not until the base raid at the end. Here we go, we're getting into the ace match. Now, what I will say, unfortunately for Krystianer, is that Frostline is a very difficult map to defend on 3 bases. The reason for this, as opposed to the previous map that we just casted on, the 3rd base is actually very far away. It's actually very isolated compared to the natural. The bases themselves are just really spread out. They're much more spread out here on Frostline, so trying to be more defensive and turtle up on your 3 bases and build up that heavy Archon Immortal count, it's going to be a little bit more difficult on this map. Not impossible, but it is going to be more difficult than on other maps, for example. So we'll see if Krystianer can keep up and can maintain himself and tighten up his defense. Likewise, the rush distance by ground is longer on Frostline, so if Solar wanted to be active with his Ling Roach, it will take a little bit longer to get across the map. That is true. It will take longer to get across the map, but and I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue for him. We'll see. For now, Stargate. Stargate opener out of Krystianer, going for the Oracle. We'll see if Krystianer goes for the early 3rd or if he delays it in favor of the Immortal production. As it does move out. Also, another big moment for Krystianer, if you remember, was him killing 15 drones. Remember, it was 15 worker kills at the 3rd, which was insane. The amount of damage Krystianer was able to deal. It was crazy. But that's just shading to the main. Oh, they get a drone. They get 1. They get 2. They get almost 3. Can he get it? Not quite. Lings, they collapse in. They get a drone. Oh my god. He pops, he weaves, he shades out, heads into the natural, and he will get, oh, barely not another worker. Whew, that was close. Almost. Casito, baby, casito. Solar, he defends. Moving out. Oracle moves out as well. And Krystianer, he's staying on 2 bases. He's staying on 2 bases. There's the Robo into a Twilight Council into a later 3rd base. Same build. Same build here 2 games in a row. Again, this is Krystianer's go-to in this matchup. And he's beaten a laser in a best of 7. Like... Like, he's taking down some of the bigger Zerg players in Europe with this. And clearly, I mean, he took a map off of Solar. Can he take a series, though? That's the question. Can he take a series? We've seen Krystianer pop off in WTL with this as well. We've seen him defeat Solar, I believe, previously in WTL, in World Team League, with this build. And we'll see how far it can take him. There we go. We have the Prism first. This is for the Archon drop. Temple Archives is done. Twilight Council is done. Temple Archives on the way. Into the Archons. Let's go. Now, if you're curious about what to do to counteract this, again, I'm not opposed to either game 1 or game 2 strategies from Solar. If you remember game 1, he went for Storm Host. I did quite well with it. Game 2, he went Mutas, but he was hoping for more damage. The problem there was that the Spire got scattered, if you remember. Because he got scattered, Krystianer, he was ready for it. He had cannons ready in position. He had his Archon High Templar, I should say, in position as well. So the Mutas, we were really lacking that surprise factor. That's the big thing with Mutas, is that if they get scattered, then they're lackluster. If they get scattered. The other thing you could do, as ZvP shade into the natural. 3 drone kills so far. Ooh, just 3. Not bad. But the other thing you could do is be hyper greedy tech-wise. Is you don't stay too long on Roach Ravager, but you rush into faster Hydras, into Infestation Bit, into Lurkers. And you can get Lurkers out in time for the first move out. Now, with the heavy immortal counts, Lurkers isn't the end-all be-all when it comes to defending. It's not easy, but that is something you could do. The Archon drop is deterred. Solar, he's cutting workers here at 58. Making more Overlords, moving out with Roaches. Roach speed is on the way. And he's pushing. Okay, he's committing. Queens as well. He's getting ready for a massive move out, a massive assault. And Solar is going for an all-in. Just under 3 base all-in here. Just under 3 base economy. As he has no extra gas in the main. Less workers here at the natural. And he's committing. It's all or nothing for Solar. I'm curious how this all-in will hit, considering that there are already Immortals, but Storm is only halfway done. So the Storm will not be available initially against this army. High Templar! Oh no, he gets 1! He gets 1, he gets 2! Massive pig off to High Templar go down. And even with Storm finishing, now there's not gonna be Storm available. That could just be game. That could just be game then and there. That is huge to snipe 2 High Templar. Shield batteries are on the way, cannons are on the way. And here comes Solar. Again, it's all or nothing. Either he kills Krystianer or he dies trying. Ay, ay, ay. Storm finishing up in a couple of seconds. But the High Templar need more time. They need more energy. Roaches, they push in. The side defense is still not done. Krystianer, he needs more time. He needs more time here. The first shield battery is just now done. First Storm goes up. There's 1 more Storm left. Meanwhile, at the same time, Ling drop into the main. 17 probes going down. Oh my god. 19 probes. Hey, Krystianer, he reacted too late. He loses everything at the natural. Depowers the Robo. Massive Storm, though. Massive Storm connects. And there's the final Storm. Just going to be zoning. Meanwhile, Lings are still in the main. Wreaking havoc. They surround the Zealots. And I think Solar's done it. At this point, I think he has done it. He's crippled the economy. Still active in the main. Going for the Archons. He gets 1. He wants the other. He gets 2. And now he can go for the Immortals themselves. Yeah, he will shut them down. High Templar are exposed. And Solar, he's snowballing out of control. It was a valiant effort, but GG gets called. And Solar, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Solar does take it here again. A very clutch move for Solar to move in with some Lings. Hits the 3rd base and he sniped 2 High Templar just before Storm is finished. And imagine that defense with 2 extra Storms. With maybe even more than that, by the way, because those 2 High Templar were already gathering energy. By the time Storm finished, they would have had full energy on those 2 High Templar. So there would have been a lot more potential for Storm, a lot more potential for defense, potentially a cleaner defense early on, which means Krystianer wouldn't have lost as many workers at the natural. Not saying it would have been a hold, but a higher chance, right? A higher chance of defending, a higher chance of surviving for Krystianer. Alas, with that, GG. GG, well played. Solar will take the series, and Solar will advance on. And the question becomes, where are we dropping?